Shalom Rastafari, Assalamu Alaikum, peace to the kings and the queens of earth. How's everybody doing today on this Thursday? Want to give a shout out to everybody who's listening. And again, this is November. This is Men's Mental Health Awareness, as well as other events happening this month, but that's my main focus. So I will continue to have a lot of talks and a lot of, just videos about just our mental health and just really us trying to continue to get better and continue to heal. I think that the awareness is starting to really come out as far as how things are handled and how things are and what we need to really be doing as men if we can. One, as far as mental health, that's the focus that I want to get in. And basically this talk is about getting around people who care about you and love you and staying around them. If you know someone really cares and loves you, no matter what level it is, keep them in your life, keep them around, keep them there. It's not because of what they do on a conditional level, but it's really because you're going to find in this world as far as men that there's not much love out here for us, especially. We are built to be tough. We are built to be stoic. We are built to not show too much emotion. There are females that even if they saw their male crying, it totally changes their perspective on him. It makes him look like a bitch, so to speak. And there's women who've taken advantage of that. I've been in situations like that before, and all of a sudden they're calling it crocodile tears, but they don't really realize that a man was literally being vulnerable in front of you and you fucked that off because of how narcissistic and evil you really are inside. And at the end of the day, for a man, obviously if you're crying over a lot of stuff, maybe you're just a little bit too much emotional about things. But if you have a breakdown one day, or you just really have a situation where your tears are coming down because you just don't know, you just don't feel right, you don't have it, we don't really have too many vulnerable places like that. There's not too many females that can handle it. I mean, I've been on podcasts where they say never cry in front of your woman or your partner. Never cry in front of them because it changes their entire perspective on you. You're supposed to be the protector, and once these tears come down, all of a sudden they may look at you differently. And I think that's bullshit because you should be able to trust. And I'm not saying you go out there and you cry in front of everybody, but there's times where if you have a partner and you're comfortable talking and being emotional and talking to them about personal stuff, it might get emotional. Tears might come down a little bit here and there. And that's okay, and that should be okay. It doesn't mean you're, less of a man or you're not able to provide or protect because you're crying. It just means that you are in tune with your emotions, and that person you think or you thought is creating a vulnerable place for you to express those emotions. Most of us men, sometimes we get tears, we get by ourselves and we do it. There was a lot of times for a while, and it hasn't been for a while because I got myself out of that setting, but I remember for like 6 months when I was taking, my little mushroom here or psilocybin on Fridays and things like that. Literally, when I was in the bad vibe, I remember just that was my crying point. And at that point, this is about 2 years ago, I really needed, 2.5 years ago, maybe 3, I really needed to get some tears out, right? I really needed to get some emotions out. I was really in a crazy place, and the pandemic was happening and all that shit. And so I remember every Friday I would just go crazy. And then finally I got to a better setting and things happen. And then all of a sudden, you feel like you can be vulnerable around somebody, and then all of a sudden they show you that you never can. So most men, we shut down, which is unhealthy for us. It's unhealthy for us to not be able to express our feelings. It's unhealthy for us not to be able to, push forward and be ourselves as much as possible around people, right? You want to be free. You want to be loose. You don't want to be holding your tongue. You don't want to definitely hold your emotions. And anybody who's really making you do that is not a person that's for you. So as far as men, surround yourself with good friends that allow you to be yourself, to allow you to come to them with, some weight that you might have, and they can take it away from you. Again, I have, a small circle, but I know for a fact that when we talk, these talks are at least an hour and a half each. And it goes from everything, to current events, to mental events, to positivity, to Pan-Africanism, to how can we improve. But most of the time, I mean, I have strong friends. I have friends who literally go to therapy still every Tuesday because they know it's needed and it makes them a better person. They have no problem doing that. You know, I have no problem continuing to be disciplined in my healing and looking up more stuff and making sure that I spend as much, you know, time, efforts, and even finances on making sure that I'm healthy as fuck. That's that's just really what it is. If you guys knew my regiment, you know, and I overstand it because it required a lot of years of healing. You know, I probably did a lot of more detoxing than anything the way my lifestyle is. I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff that's in my life. And that may require you to be alone. They may require you to obtain, or I'm sorry, like not really go to areas that you normally would go as far as, you know, going out or meeting people. It might require you to be disciplined. It might require you to even be, you know, somewhat alone a lot. You know what I mean? When in your perspective. Now, I'm not saying that you're just by yourself, but you might have to really just zone in and figure out what's going on and keep all distractions away from you in all forms to make sure that what you're doing is correct. And getting one with oneself, that I and I, that's what we talk about in Rastafari. So all these things are really into that mental and healing. And the basis of it is, man, make sure you get alone at one point, get in tune with the earth, get to that I and I. And if you have any people in your life, make sure they love you for real. Make sure they're there for your intentions. I've been there, I've done that. You know, when you made a mistake and you end up being with somebody who just literally just tore your life apart. That's how it can happen in most times. And I think that most men, you know, we're not okay with being alone, right? So we're eager to go out there and talk to somebody. We're eager to try to nah, you need to really get with yourself and be okay with being alone, healing by yourself, healing it for yourself, and keeping people around you as far as the surroundings, keeping that circle tight of men. No yes men, no men that are going to allow you to do whatever, no men that are just going to, you know, be around you for a conditional reason, like maybe you got money or maybe you have, you know, you're bringing over the good stuff, so to speak. And you know, you want men who, if you had nothing, they'd help you out. If you had zero, they would still rock with you. And they wouldn't let anybody fuck with you or talk to you in a certain way. And you can come to them with any kind of thing you need, whether it be emotions, maybe physical, maybe it be advice. You can open up to them and have that safe space. So make sure as men, you continue to have a safe space. You continue to have, you know, a circle around you that loves you and continue to heal because you are needed. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for listening.